Good morning. Welcome to Loewenwood Forest. Here is where we homeschool our 5 children, and we're also creating it into a homestead. Yes! So I will link above, if that doesn't work, definitely in the description below, our last video which detailed our new sawmill, and we're so excited. As you can see, we are surrounded by 14 acres of boreal forest, and so in order to make it into a homestead where we have a lovely gorgeous garden, we do need to take out some of these trees. Of course, much of them will be turned into firewood, but some of them can't, and so that's when we are going to mill them into beautiful boards, beautiful wood that we are using around the house. And so my husband wants to share with you today the different projects we're doing. Of course, we did show you the shelf in the last video. You'll see that again showing up in this video, but also other projects with the rough cut wood that comes right out of the mill, as well as projects that use planed wood. So that's where we've taken the rough cut and it's been sanded down. Yeah, so come on, let's check it out. What is this you made, Evelyn?
It's a cake.
You made a cake? Are you feeding us while we work hard outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Daddy works hard. You made us a cake.
Alright, so we have milled this. This is tamarack. We've milled it last weekend or the weekend before, and this deck, which we had our builder cover with a roof, we want to have it screened in, and the first thing we're actually going to do though is do siding up to the top of the railing, and then above that it's going to be screened. So we're using the tamarack because it weathers much like cedar. And what we're doing right now is we're setting an overlap. So my easiest way to do it, if I don't have someone else to hold the board because they're working the camera, is I set a screw. So right now I'm using my level just as a guide to measure. I put a screw in, only a little bit in like that, so there's something for the next board to sit on. And so yeah, when I put the next board on, it's down now about an inch overlap, and I don't have to worry about trying to hold it and screw it and do all that stuff all at once. And now that I've got this board set, I can just take that screw out that I was using to hold the end, and now it's in. And you'll notice they're not fastened at the bottom. What we're going to do is, once we get this whole side up, I'll go from the inside and screw back into this back side of this board, so I have no exposed screws. You'll see the screws are along here, but on this one they're all hidden by the board above it, and we're set.
All right, go, Evelyn. Daddy says this wood is strong enough for you to be able to pounce on it. I don't know if Mommy approves of this. Oh, wow, and you're doing tricks. Oh, my. This looks like a Cirque du Soleil act.
So I've got 5 boards up. I have 10 milled total, but I'm going to do 5 because it's all from the same log. 5 on this side, 5 on the other. You'll see I've got a bit of a gap. So I've got a bit more wood to mill. I'll need about 2 more boards on the tops of each of these. All I have left to do is go stand on the deck because I can't really reach on the top side. Put a few more screws, and then we're going to be done for today. About 30 minutes of work. See the back side of the wood we've done. I've just put a few screws in the back side through to this board to pull them in so that the bottom doesn't flip out. I would say the only issue that I'm having so far is that because it's winter, I can't use a hose or anything, so these are covered with sawdust, and I'm getting covered with it myself. So once it's a little bit warmer, I'll be able to get a hose out, and when I'm using the mill, I can clean the logs off before I mill them, and then once I've done it, I can spray all the sawdust off with the hose, because yeah, they're really dirty and it gets all over everything and stuck on my coat, but I think it looks good so far. A little more to do.
Hi, Carolyn. Hi. Look who it is. It's Carolyn. Hi. She just woke up from a nap. Are you saying hello?
So you can see here I've left an overhang of a few inches. When I cut the logs for cutting the tree down, I cut them 10.5 feet, knowing this was 10, just so that I have a little extra, and I can, when I'm done, I'll just cut this off with a skill saw, with a circular saw, as some would call it. But I have a log on the sawmill right now, and I noticed when I put it on the sawmill, it's kind of got a curve on it, just at one end. So if I tried to mill it for 10-foot boards like this, because it's got a curve, I'll have to mill away a lot of that wood and waste it, and to get a 10-foot length. So what I'm going to do with it is cut off about 4 feet, make it 6 feet, which is the distance from that railing to this one, which we're also covering up. And then it's a straight log, and I'll get a lot more wood out of it. Should be able to have enough for this side and then the other side of the deck. And I'll just have to cut a different log for 10-foot boards to cover up the top of this side and the other. So just trying to make the most of the wood that I have, and mill less, because it does take some time to do that. This is the quick part, putting the boards on. The long part's bringing the tree down and turning it into boards like this. Alright, so when our builder built the house and we wanted to have our laundry in our mudroom entrance, he wanted to put the water for the washing machine at the back. The problem was it's an outside wall, and building code said he couldn't. So because that exterior wall couldn't have water in it, our builder had to put in this half wall, which has the water in it right here on the other side. The thing was that because it wasn't expected, it wasn't designed exactly the way we would want, and every time Andrea goes from the laundry tub to the washing machine, it gets filthy, it gets dirty, it's getting all nicked up because it's just drywall. So what we did with some of the wood we milled, this is a piece of a balsam tree that I cut down. So it's quite light, has a very nice grain to it with some knots from all the branches. So we've milled this, and then I sent it to my dad's place where he has a planer to make it a little less rough, and then it's been sanded on the sides in the end. This is just going to simply cover this. All I have to do is, with my drill, use a pilot hole so it makes a little hole for the screw to sit in. I'll cover them with some wood filler, and then we're going to, I think Andrew wants it whitewashed, so give it a white type finish but leave the grain showing, and then we'll put a clear coat varnish on it so that it's good and water resistant, and I think it'll look great when it's all done. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Magdalene? I think she'll like it too. What about Jackson?
Love it. Also,
Yeah.
I think it looks better just this way.
Yeah, well, it looks better just with this nice wood grain, right?
Mm. We
Wood
should cut down more of those trees.
Wood from our house, free wood, not going to waste. And to keep Andrea's house clean, we'll throw these clippings somewhere out of the way. Bringing a box of wood down to the basement, trying to get a supply. This, once it's full, should be enough, if the power went out, let's say, to have wood for 2 weeks, at least a week anyway, of straight burning in our wood stove. And if I've got it in here, it'll be nice and dry. So just bringing at least a box in every day and loading this up slowly. And actually, this is also milled wood. I made it with some wood that I milled at the same time as that piece that's in between the washer and the laundry tub. And I don't know, it's just fun though. You know, the kids can hang out with me when I do this stuff, and we make use of all this wonderful wood we need, and wood that we need to get out of the way for gardening, for Andrea's orchard. So yeah, it's great to be making use of the wood, and you know, trying to, or sustainably, I guess, live sustainably as much as we can, off the grid sort of, with hydro.
Be sure to check back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's when we do our homeschooling videos. And I'm trying to get out a nice homesteading video for you every Saturday. So I hope you come back and see us again. Bye! See you in the forest.